Welcome to the City League Sports Show here. We are continuing with our basketball coverage this season, and we have members of the Africentric ladies basketball team in the house here today. In studio joining us are seniors Kamryn Grant and Natiah Nelson. We got head coach Janicia Anderson in the house. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarino. Let's get into it. We're going to start. So before we started going here, all of our listeners and audience out there, we got like yin and yang in here. We have one young lady that was bubbling and smiling and talking, and like you heard that laugh in the background. And we have one young lady that we're going to keep her talking here. We're going to get her going here, but we're going to start to my left. You radio listeners can't see her, but say your name, say hello, tell everybody what grade you're in, and kind of go from there.
Hello, my name is Natiah Nelson. I'm a senior at Africentric Early College.
Nice. Let's keep it going around the circle here.
My name is Kamryn Grant. I'm a senior at Africentric.
Nice. Coach, go ahead.
Coach Janicia Anderson, better known as Coach Shaq, head girls basketball coach at Columbus Africentric.
There we go. So you're hearing who we got at the round table here. We got two seniors. We got a head coach. And, Coach, we're going to start directly with you because I think that will really help set the stage and the context. You're one of the first Africentric lady basketball players in the history of the school. I'm just saying, you're in that early group.
Yes.
You're a graduate of 2006, 2005, something
2006.
like 2006. And so that would mean that, obviously you were there sort of in the beginning,
yes.
Even though there might be some classes before you, but you were there sort of in the beginning. Speak to what it was like. Give us some history about Africentric ladies basketball, right? Because here we are 17 years later removed from when you graduated, right? You see what I'm saying? So when you hear it that way, it gives it a little bit of context. So share with a little bit about just kind of what you see and thinking back to when you was a kid running around senior in high school, which is where they're at right now, right?
Yes. It's hearing the 17 number for me.
Yeah, but, come on. And they're probably 17 years old, right? What year were y'all born?
2005.
2005? 2005. So they were born the year you were a senior in high school, right?
Yes. I'm graduated 2006, second graduating class for Africentric.
Okay.
I was on.
So you were there in the beginning?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yep,
I'm even gonna write that in my notes here.
Yeah, second high school graduating class. But yeah, Lady Nubian. I was a part of the first City League championship team. Coach Will McKinney was my head coach. Natiah was my assistant coach.
Okay. I didn't know that JB was around at the beginning.
Yep.
That's good to hear. Okay.
Yeah, JB was my assistant coach, but it was just building the culture. You know, Coach McKinney and JB, they wanted us to be all we can be. It required a lot of hard work, a lot of competitive energy. We had a lot of great players to come through Africentric. So it was just...
Who was in your senior class?
Tanya Lee and Sharita Harris.
Would y'all beat this group?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. She's lying.
Absolutely.
Ooh, have y'all ever talked about that in practice?
We talk about it all the time.
Okay, so they've heard it then.
Yeah, Taisha Moss, who was my teammate. She's younger, but she was my teammate when I was a senior. She was a sophomore.
Okay.
We talk about how they
look
probably
at these
couldn't guard
radio
us.
listeners.
Okay,
if you're
so let me give you all the rundown.
Yeah, please come on. Yes, it is. Hey, Coach, this is one of the few places where players get to be able to have a little bit of pushback, right?
Yeah.
But yes, indeed. So your group, you all have had this discussion. They are aware that y'all was hooping and giving it out.
Yeah, they're aware that we started it, that, the legacy that they carry, we carried it first. They're aware. Very aware.
I love that energy right there because anytime that you can get and I think we all know this, like we have a connection as City League people, right? And we've been around and we understand not only our own trials that we've had, but we understand maybe the trials of some of the young people that we serve. So I want to stick in that space for a moment, right? Because even though we're going to talk about these two young ladies and their own path and journey, when you all hear that in practice and you hear these things come up about maybe their senior team versus yours, what pops in your mind about the compare? Because you jumped in right away, Natiah. You said, hold on a second. So what does that spark to you when you hear those things?
Honestly, it just makes us go harder. Like, we want to carry on the legacy, but I do think that we would be any team, any Africentric team, we'll give all of them work.
I love that energy right there. The beauty of that also, though, you're doing something right when you can begin to compare you against you. right? Think about that. She ain't talking about comparing us against what somebody else was doing. She like, hey, look, we gonna put the 24 group on the map, right? And I'm sure that every group would say that. Cam, what you got over there? You got to join in the conversation. What you think about when you hear your group and their group and some of that fun?
I mean, me personally, it just makes me want to work harder. Like she said, it makes me just want to continue to come in every day and put in the grind to be better.
I love it. You know, here's the difference also. Even though we had a little bit of video footage, and I'm just a little bit older than you, not a lot. I got to say it that way, right? I'm a little bit older than you, but wasn't a lot of video footage floating around when I was a kid. A little bit more when you, but the difference would be is that like what you all do, it's out there for the world to see forever, right? Yeah. And so the groups that come behind you and behind you, they'll be able to say, well, let's pull up the film. Yes. I can see what you can do. Let's stay with basketball for a moment in that arena, that theme. I'm talking about skill set now. Kamryn, we're gonna come to you. What's your game? What's your skill set? Are you slashing? Are you on the wing? Are you hitting triples? What are you doing out there that's making you a player to be dealt with?
Me personally, I've been working on my shots. I've been working on my free throws. That's important to knock them down and just execute.
That's coaching talk. I don't want to hear coaching talk. What game do you have? What's your game? I want to know what your game is. When you sitting there saying to myself, I'm about to give it to this person, what pops in your mind?
Go to the basket.
Get to the basket? Okay. Okay. What about you, young lady? Natiah, what about you? What's your game?
I'm a pretty versatile guard. I'm a slasher. I like to get to the rim. I talk a lot when I'm on the court.
Oh, is this the Energizer Bunny of the team?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. So
you out there letting people know. You taking names. What do the kids say? Keeping receipts or something like that. Is that what you out there doing?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay. So Coach, you tell me when you see these two players and then share others on your team. Like, is it a balanced group? Last year you win a state championship, and we'll get to that, right? But when you look at the skill set of your players, do they complement each other well?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely complement each other. They work well together. But when you talk about just the versatility of all the players, anybody can get the rebound. Anybody can push. It's not I got to look for a certain person. So it makes us faster. It makes us harder to guard because Kamryn can get it and
rebound and go.
Rebound and go. Samara Thompson, who's a senior, she can get it and go.
Yeah.
Natalia can go off the ball and play on the wing. Ashton Winfrey can play the one spot. You know what I mean? It just puts us in a position where, it's a hard matchup. It's a hard matchup, and they just compete every day to prepare for the next person being ready.
Yeah, and you know this like all of us know this as basketball people, right? But to listeners who may not understand that, like they're going to tune in to hear Africentric ladies basketball, but may not know the game like we know it, right? To have players that can get it and go and don't have to necessarily look for what is a traditional guard position to push the ball up the court makes any team a challenge to be able to play against, right? And there's not much you can do in practice to prepare for that because either your team has great transition defense or you don't. And that's hard to replicate until you see an Africentric on the court. That's kind of hard to replicate. Cam, I'm going to come to you again for a moment. Now we're going to dig into a little bit of your history, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, right? So your father, who I knew, who I know, right, is a city guy, Eastmoor graduate. Your older sister, an Eastmoor graduate. So are you the baby in the house?
No, I have a little brother.
Little brother, okay. But so how do you end up then at Africentric, right? So I'm sure that Eastmoor blood gets talked about around your home. How do you end up at Africentric?
When I was in middle school, like when I went to Berwick, I was already thinking about what high school I wanted to go to. So it was just always a talk in the house. Obviously, my dad went to Eastmoor. Aunt went to Eastmoor. Sister went to Eastmoor. Like it's just brother, cousin. Sorry. So
certainly.
Yeah, and when it came to basketball, it was just different. Like, it just wasn't about the academics for me. I just wanted to be better as a person. So it was a couple schools, but when it came to Africentric, I had just, felt like watching a couple games before going to high school, they were just always, fast-paced. They were known to win. They were known to get it done. So And then Jordan Horston being on that team, she was an inspiration for me. So that was just somebody I wanted to follow and continue the legacy for Africentric.
Okay. Now I'm coming to you over here, young. She has this smile that is contagious, man. You have a contagious smile, young lady.
Thank you.
So now from what I read, you came from the Toledo area?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did your family transition to Central Ohio?
Last year we
okay.
moved to Columbus.
Okay.
And there was also a couple schools I was looking at as well, but Africentric, I feel like I came to watch a couple of their games my sophomore season, and the way that they play really caught my eye. I feel like I was a perfect fit here. Also the history, I wanted to continue the history, and Cam was also a big reason I wanted to come. I really wanted to play with her because I knew it would be a good duo together. Nice.
Coach, I've heard both of them say style of play. You tell me, is it the same style of play from what you, because now you're coming into your own identity. And I don't mean that as a knock. I mean it as Will McKinney cast a big shadow. Let's just, it don't got to be, he cast a big shadow on the school district. So I can certainly believe he cast a big shadow on the program, right? And so, but you go out last year, you lead this group of young people to a state championship. You put your own ring on your finger. You put your own notch on the legacy of Africentric women's basketball, right? And so I'm hearing style of play. Are the styles similar to what you remember, to what you were a part of even as an assistant coach? Or are you starting to say, hey, look, here's some things that Coach Anderson, Coach Shaq is doing? In your mind, tell me about style of play.
Yeah, style of play is the same.
Okay.
Just as much as we, we go back and forth about who will win. I was in their shoes. So
certainly.
Everything that we do, the recipe, you don't change the recipe if it's
there
working.
There you go. Yes, indeed.
Very much.
Yes,
obviously, times are changed. Players are different. You make adjustments. I coach in a different way, but at the end of the day, the standard, the expectation, and how we want to be successful is the same. We want to play fast. We want to be competitive. We're going to be in shape.
Yeah.
We're going to play together.
That part I can attest to, listeners. Hey, sometimes I don't know if they're doing basketball practice or track practice, because I get the luxury, I get the opportunity to come in, and we've talked about some of your drills and stuff, and I'm going, ooh, I'm taking that one right there, right? So sometimes I think it's track practice, but you said we're certainly going to be in shape. So when you come to play Africentric, you better be in shape, huh?
Yeah, you got to be in shape. You got to be ready for every player that's going to touch the floor to give you their all. And that's the same recipe as when I was in school.
I love it.
When I was playing, you got to be ready for the next person off the bench to give you the same energy as the person that just subbed out.
Yeah.
Same recipe.
I love
next person up.
The beauty of it is, as I hear you say those things and talk about the recipe, and I like the way you put that, right? So for those of us that get down and help out a little bit, around Thanksgiving, my wife and I, they've been making the same stuff for years, and the recipes don't change, right? And if you do a little something different, everybody knows right away, right? They like, who did the greens this year? Like, hold on, that's not what you was. But we can tell right away. Don't mess around with the recipe, right? And so having the recipe for success, it brings you full circle. You're talking style of play, and so, what would you have wanted to hear when you were a senior? Right, they're seniors 17 years ago. What would have you wanted to hear when you were a senior that you think would have helped you, that you can say that maybe you've already said? So maybe you've already said this to your seniors, but let's let the whole world hear it. Right? What's something that would have helped you, Janicia Anderson, as a senior, a player that year, and going into being involved in your senior year? What's something you
what's going into college?
No. Just going through the whole energy of it. Okay. Like what advice would you look back on and either remember somebody said to you, or that you wish somebody would have said to you?
Well, Will McKinney being your coach, you're going to get a whole lot of advice. So I can't say that I didn't get the advice that I needed.
Yeah.
It was about, he definitely made us understand that it's bigger than basketball.
Okay.
That we're going to learn life through the game.
Love it.
He definitely helped me understand that he didn't care about if we go and win a championship in college. He didn't want to see us come back until we got the degree. And to use everything we learned as Lady Nubians in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he filled us with so much advice. And I was ready. We were ready, honestly. Outside of the game, we were ready. We were ready for the world, because he filled us, and they kind of get tired and bored hearing the stories. I feel sometimes I tell them like I didn't want to turn into Will McKinney with all these speeches, but it's necessary.
Do you find yourself saying some of the same things?
I mean, because like we say, the game has changed in a way as far as the players and
positionless basketball, some of that stuff.
But when you talk about just the recipe for success in life, that's the same. You need those same kind of talks. You need those same kind of lessons. You need that same type of accountability.
Certainly.
So I was ready with all the advice. I still use his advice.
Still use that. That's good too. What do you all hear that resonates with you? You're in your senior campaign. Look, she tapped her. She said, "Come on, who's on? Look at the hot seat. Who's on? What is it that you've heard that you can say has helped you out? Maybe even if it's something minor. Is there something that you've heard along the way that's made you say, hey, this was useful?" Y'all on the spot. That's a tough one. I get it. I know that's a tough one.
I mean, because I feel like they say a lot of things, so it's kind of hard to like point out one thing. Like they have a lot of speeches. So
Okay.
I feel like a lot of speeches.
Yeah.
I mean, we do.
They need a lot of love. And the speeches come with love, don't they? It's love in them speeches.
I'm trying to put it in one, like what they say. Like they just tell us, like Shaq personally, before practices, like what she talks about is just like coming in, giving it our all to honestly like put in the 1% for that day, because it'll like
I like that
it'll
one.
come on and like I don't know how to explain it. It'll add on later on in life. It'll make more sense and help you out if you put in the work now.
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listener.
Yeah. G said, get a little smile, make you feel a little good, right? When they can throw it back out there that way.
Yeah, Shaq, we definitely do have a lot of speeches. Me and her have our own personal talks too. But probably the biggest thing is that
coaching relationships. For those that can't see, I'm giving a little dap here. Coaching relationships are the most powerful. I've said that for years. They're the most powerful relationships out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the biggest speech is probably when she says that, like she said, it's bigger than basketball. So everything she says that we learn with being a Lady Nubian, we will take outside of after graduation into college and after college.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty is that, like you said, there's a lot of love in these conversations. As young people, you hope they're kind of getting it, right? One of the things that I will say, right, so sort of being, I'm an insider outsider, right? Because obviously I love all of our schools. And I think at the end of the day, I think we all do, right? Regardless of how you break it down, I think all of us who are a part of our City League family, we all kind of love each other and get it. And there's coaching relationships and there's friends and there's all these different things that go on. But when I say insider, outsider, my question for you two young ladies, you talked a little bit earlier about legacy. Do you all get it? Like, I know you see the banners, you see the pictures, you hear the championships, but do you get kind of like, there's always, and like you're getting everybody's best all the time.
Yeah.
Do you kind of get that everybody looks at you and says, okay, that's where we need to get to? Do you see that?
Yeah, Shaq always says that everybody gonna give us their best game.
Yeah, they are.
No matter what team it is, they gonna give us their best game.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
even when you win by 30 or 40 points, that team was still trying to give you their best.
Trying.
You know,
Right.
Worked hard.
Yeah. Can you feel it, Cam? Do you see it when you guys are going into competition? Can you see the differences? Like when you're playing teams, can you feel like they're trying to give you their best?
Yes, I see it, but I feel like any game we know who we are, so we know what we're going to do.
Hey, she said that real subtle, but that's a powerful statement. When you can say we understand our identity, we kind of know who we are. That means a lot, right? So I'm going to stick with now some more background stuff for you two young ladies. You all are all league players and all district and all state. We got all these all right. Like always. I always say we got the alls, right? And that's nice to be a part of, right? As you all are now in your senior year, and you look on what you accomplished as juniors. So I'm trying to think back as freshmen. When was the previous state championship, Coach, before the 23 campaign?
2019.
2019. So that was their first.
Yeah.
Right. Now, so let's talk about a little pressure. Let's have a little bit of fun here, right? The pressure's turned out. We're trying to make the popcorn pop. You know how when you put the bag in there, if you don't put it on high, the popcorn ain't popping. So now let's do a little pressure. As seniors, what does the season mean? And now what does accomplishing a championship, state championship as a junior, then what does that say about the senior campaign?
I think think we're just trying to accomplish everything we did last year and more. To be honest, just trying to grow our game and get ready for college, get prepared.
Okay.
Me personally, it means everything to get another one back to back because I didn't experience to fully get to do that last year with them. So I would just love to be able to put like the team back on the market again.
Okay, you had some injuries last year, right? And we've had other guests on the show. It's difficult to have a high school injury. I had one, and I think I might have missed like maybe 2 games, and I was miserable. I can remember back to it, and I'm like I said, I'm just a little bit older than you, right? So you say 17 years, I might say a couple more, but I can remember missing those 2 games, right? It kind of stays with you, and so to be able to have the power to work through that. So you all say, hey, look, we get it. We want to accomplish that and more. So what are you doing to help lead the team through this campaign? As seniors, are they captains? I don't know. Do you do captains, coach? Okay, so you're captains, you're seniors, you're on the team. What are you doing to make sure that you don't fall off this season?
I've been constantly just trying to impose my will and show like who I am because I know who I am. So I'm just trying to pick up back where I left off. So like pick up with my leadership, my voice, my everything.
Nice. Nice. And your father, who I've known for a very long time, he's very vocal also. So maybe he, you know what I mean? He is one that has for a lifetime. And we know each other. So I can say that with a smile. That obviously, you know what I mean? He's had a lot of fun. We were sort of in school around the same time. So I can remember him, super athlete, a very good player. What about you, Natiah?
I'm more of like an energy person. Like Samara Thompson, she's our vocal leader, but I'm more the energy person. So when somebody gets in one, I'm the one screaming in their face.
I like that energy. We can scream a little bit on this show here. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
The work of a championship doesn't happen in the championship game. And you know that because you've been around winning programs and you've seen that you've got, a championship as an assistant coach. You got a state championship now as a head coach. These young ladies get it. And so the work continues on. I want to dive a little bit into your backgrounds. At some point, Cam, you were doing a little bit of volleyball. And then also I want to find out, were you doing any other sports or basketball has been your thing? For how long then? So let's start there, Natiah. How long, when do you remember starting the game? When do you remember hooping?
I've been playing basketball since I was 5.
Oh, wow. Who started that? Let's give him a shout out.
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad put me in basketball.
Come on, hey, we say names on here. What's dad's name? What's your dad?
Rod Nelson. That's my dad. He put me in basketball.
You said Ron?
Rod.
Rod. Okay, come on, Rod. Get some love out here. Rod, if you out there listening, Rod Nelson, get some love. So dad put the basketball in your hand and said, let's go get it.
Yeah, and ever since I picked up basketball, I knew that was what I wanted to do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes, indeed. What about you, Cam? I know you did a little volleyball, but then when does this basketball journey begin for you?
Yeah, I didn't start off with basketball. I didn't necessarily think I wanted to play basketball. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but seeing my sister play basketball, I always wanted to be like her, be better than her. So at 7, I started playing basketball when my dad worked at a rec, so I would start at a rec. But I did a couple sports. I wanted to play softball. I never got the chance. I done track. I played volleyball.
So you done a couple different things, and then finally you start realizing 27, 22, 15 and 5, 15 and 10, right? All of a sudden the numbers start racking up and you go, oh, I can do this hoop thing a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. So you 2 young ladies now, this is what year for you, coach, as head coach?
Third year.
So third year head coach, and these 2 young ladies are on their way. Cam is headed to Dayton University next year. Natiah, you're headed to DePaul in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about your journeys and your choices. Who's a part of your support team that helped you get to arrive at these places?
Honestly, my family.
Okay.
Just me personally, because of what I went through, it just kind of was home to me. It just made sense to me of where I wanted to go. I had some choices, but I've just had a long journey overall. So
okay. So with Dayton, you're ready for that chapter. That feels like it's going to be a good fit for you. Happy for you. Yes. And what about you? How did we end up? Chicago, DePaul.
My parents.
Does she ever talk without smiling? You have a contagious smile, young lady. My goodness, you smile every time you speak. Yeah. What's a bad day look like for her, Coach?
She wasn't smelling yesterday in practice.
Okay, I'm done.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, thank you. I needed to find out. Give
She
us
had moments where she don't
okay, there we go. Okay, I got you.
You want me to elaborate?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell us about the ball.
Yeah, there we go. Tell us about the fall. Thank you, because I'm wondering. I'm like, my goodness, here you bad day, but yes, indeed, and I know how them practices can be.
Yeah.
So what we got here? DePaul, Chicago. What's going on there?
Okay, my parents definitely were the biggest thing in my. They're my biggest support system. Obviously, they moved me from Toledo to give me a better opportunity. Coach Shaq, the coaching staff, they helped me a lot.
A lot of history, lot of good experiences and advice. So you said they helped you a lot.
Yeah, they gave me a lot of advice with everything that was going on. My teammates, I loved them so much.
That's beautiful. So Coach, last year, State of Ohio moves state championships from Central Ohio, Columbus here, to the Dayton area, and you had an opportunity to reconnect with your college experience.
Yes.
So, and playing in Dayton, future home for this young lady. Yeah. You're playing the state championship at UD Arena, Trent Arena, right? And so at the same time, I read someplace that you had an opportunity to maybe take the team back to Wilberforce, where you played at and put up numbers and was giving out work, right? So what was that like for you, and then just your memory, and then how you could share some of your own experience with the team?
It just was full circle, you know what I mean? It was a full circle moment. Obviously, Wilberforce is just a little small historical black college.
Certainly.
But it was an amazing experience. So I just wanted them to see that, in this day and age, it's big or bust. But, I enjoyed Wilberforce. I was an All-American there.
Yeah.
Joined Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
Certainly. Okay.
So I had a ball, so I wanted them to see that it's a lot of sides to this. If you put in the work, you can go anywhere and be great.
Yeah.
A lot of our players, in history, and then now with these young ladies, they're going Division I. But I wanted to show those players that, maybe going D2, D3, that hey, this is it too.
Certainly.
And get a feel for who I am. You know what I mean? Moss went to Xavier, so we got to go to Xavier. And then when we went to UD, Ariana Smith, who I was her assistant coach, she's there.
Yeah.
So we just got a lot of connections. We just I like to show them every aspect of what this game can give them, and so they can reach for the stars. And it's your star.
That's
right. It
right.
don't got to be a star that everybody else wanted to be. It's your star. Wilberforce, Dayton, DePaul. Samara Thompson is going to Buffalo. Ashton Winfrey has an opportunity to go Power 5 in track or play basketball. Rihanna Howell has $60,000 in academic money. She can go anywhere for free. So that's opportunities.
So I'm going to stay with you for a moment, Coach. Kind of your coaching tree. When did you say, hey, look, I want to be a leader of leaders? Because I always say athletes are leaders. Even if because you can have a team leader, that vocal person, but to get out there and be an athlete, which I think is phenomenal for all kids at all levels, at all people, right? Because what you're doing is you're allowing the world to judge you. When you get out there, like you're saying, hey, look, I'm out here, and whether we like it or not, but people are sitting back and watching you, and then they're going off into their circles, wherever that may be, barbershops and salons and sports places and bowling alleys, and they're talking about those that play, right? If you watch a game, later on you talk about the game.
Absolutely.
And so I think all people who choose to be athletes are leaders. But from a coaching standpoint, I call coaches leaders of leaders. When did you say, hey, look, this is the route I want to go?
Well, I pursued an overseas career. After college, I got an opportunity to go to Germany.
Oh, nice.
I was there for a week where I was trying to make a team.
Okay.
Didn't work out, so I came back home. McKinney, we as alumni, we always come back. So we were always playing, come in to practice as a team, things like that. And then once I made the decision that, my career is over, McKinney was like, hey, come volunteer, come get on the staff.
Nice.
It took at least 2 years before before
Okay.
I actually did. I was caught up in working and making money, but I wasn't happy. So I would say 2014, 15 is when I got on staff as a volunteer. And I always been a leader. I was always a team captain.
Okay.
Things like that. So I tried it out with him. At first I was like, nah, you know what I mean? Like these kids different, and you try, you get that old head mentality.
Right.
But 2015, it started it all when I realized that I can motivate, I can pour into these young women things that was poured into me, and also tell them where I went wrong or where I could have did something different, or, tell them how great my experience was. You know, I didn't do everything I wanted to do, but I did some amazing things. And just to tell them that it's so much beyond where they are now.
Right.
Yeah. So just paying forward, you know what I mean? Paying it forward, paying it back. Just wanted to be the big sister. That's all. I
love it. So before they're giving me the signal, we got to start to wrap up. I said it would go fast. Before I transition to the two young ladies, because I want our listeners and our guests to get a chance to hear from them one more time. You're third-year coach.
Yes.
In the last 3 years, without them knowing, because you didn't know, right? That's why I asked the question that way. Who's the next Coach Anderson? Which one of these young ladies do you see that maybe one day might be, you know what I mean, in the world of coaching? Is there a future coach that you saw in the last couple of years?
I would definitely say Natiah has a future.
Okay.
Samara Thompson, Rihanna Howe.
Yeah, okay.
Cam gonna try to play till she's 60.
There you go. Till she can't walk anymore. She's shooting free throws,
But just how bubbly she is, she's gonna play. Sam is a vocal leader. Rihanna is a leader.
Yeah, we're planting some seeds. That's why I did it that way. We're planting little seeds, right? So if we look back on it, and I know when those young people get to their next stages in life, I won't be the one sitting in this seat, right? Because I've been doing this a long time, but hopefully I'll get a chance to look back and maybe remember, and we see the next Coach Anderson. And even if it's not sitting here at Africentric, if there's someplace else leading leaders, you know what I mean? That speaks volumes, because I love what coaches bring, you know what I mean, to just the world of athletics that people sometimes often forget. What you have to give up to be a coach. You got to give up a whole lot to be a coach. Sacrifice. Yeah. Ladies, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to get the group out of here today. You get the last word before we take off. We're going to start with you, Cam. Cam is in game face mode. She ready to go. So our shows come out, and so they won't know that we're talking on a game day, right? So I don't know what day the show drops, but for those of you, when you hear this, Cam is in game mode. What do you want to share before we get out of here? Anybody you want to give some love to? Anything you need to say that we didn't talk about?
I just want to give love to everybody who's been
that smile. I love it.
Pouring into me throughout like my whole 4 years of being an Africentric, or just me personally, because it means a lot. But I just wanted to say, just keep continuing to be on the lookout for me, because I'm back, and I'm going to continue to come with it.
I'm going to say this other little piece for you real quickly as well. You are a Career Center student as well. Mm-hmm. You spend some time moonlighting over at Fort Hays, and you're in the photography program. The part that I like about that is to be a good photographer, you got to have a sharp eye. You got to have a clean look. You know what I mean? And so hopefully that continues to be a part of your world. Don't allow the things that help define you and make you to disappear. Right, so even in life, when you go through it, you get a chance and you maybe find yourself lost. Go grab your camera, go take some pictures. It'll help you reset yourself. Natiah, what you got? Come on, what you got? What you got?
I haven't been here for all 4 years, but for the years that I have been here, my teammates have always made me feel like this was home, like I've been here since preschool. So I like to thank them for that. Thank you to the coaches that poured time and effort into me and developing my game. Thank you to my little sisters, because they're literally at every game screaming, no matter how good or bad I'm doing. And my parents.
There you go. Coach, what you got for us here as we start to wind up? Pardon me, everybody. What you got, Coach?
Thanks for having us. Thanks for shedding light over.
Hey, let me stop you real quick. We can have y'all just like every other week. You know what I mean? We can just keep having that because there's so much to talk about. Yes. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to share that. Like I want. It's hard for listeners to truly capture and understand the body of work that has become Africentric ladies basketball. And so I didn't mean to stop you, but we could have y'all. It's like an annual show. We just write it and pencil in somewhere December, January. Just bring you back and let's talk to the new group, the new energy. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Get us out of here.
Yep. Just say thank you for having us. Thank you for shedding light on the program. Everybody does think it's easy and that we just show up and we're just great, but these young ladies put a lot of work in every day. The accountability meter, the way they show up and give it their all no matter what. They give everything I ask them to do, they do it. You know, they're not always perfect. I'm not always perfect, but we have each other's back. We have some great kids on our roster.
Yeah.
Off the court, they're amazing.
Yes,
our
indeed.
team GPA is 3.5.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's bigger than basketball. They're amazing kids. So we appreciate anybody coming out to support our games.
Yeah.
Especially when the tournament starts. You know, as City League, we want to represent the City League to the best of our ability. Our goal is to win another state championship this year. But I just want to thank my players for just being all in.
Yeah.
We have 3 of our other seniors here, and I just want to thank them.
5 seniors is a good problem to have.
5 seniors, 5 amazing seniors.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have.
That's my biggest class so far as a head coach.
Yeah.
And they're all just great kids. They're definitely going to go do great things. But thank you to our parents. We have some amazing parents.
Support teams means a lot. Yeah.
Yes. It's a big commitment for them. So I want to thank the parents, my coaching staff.
Yeah.
Just everybody that support Africentric.
Watch this. I'm about to sneak in an out-code compliment for you. So real quickly, and some people will resonate with this right away. A long time ago when I was coaching, in order to be able to do game film preparation, you had to go physically meet the other person. So if you was low person on the totem pole, somebody handed you a VHS tape and you had to drive across town somewhere. Maybe you met at a Roosters or a Denny's and you met your other low on the totem pole counterpoint and you exchanged VHS films and then you went back and that's how you broke down film. We didn't have Huddle and all those fancy things, right? I share that because I remember I had to exchange film with Brookhaven, Coach Howard. And everybody said, man, they just got all the talent. Yeah. And I remember going into the gym. I was going up to Brookhaven, and I had to go drop off film. And I walked in the gym, and I saw practice. And I said, oh, they in here getting it, right? Like, wow. Because when you don't know what the recipe is, when you don't know what the special sauce is, it's easy to see the product or taste the food, right? But you don't know what went into that love to making it work. And I will share this for everyone just because of proximity. I've obviously had multiple opportunities to watch the lady women's basketball teams practice over the years, and y'all be in there getting it. Yeah, I mean, y'all be in there getting it. And I'm saying that hopefully as a basketball mind and somebody who loves the game, y'all be in there getting it. Coach, that is directly a compliment to you and how you're leading the program because I think people just think, you just roll the ball out and y'all just show up. And then if somebody was to come in there and watch, I think they would say the same thing. So for those of you that are out there and you saying, hey, look, we either by league association, you got to play Africentric, or if you call up Africentric looking for a game, you better be ready because these young ladies work, they in there getting it. And some days it's not a basketball practice. Some days it's just a track practice. I get it. Hey, look, they're giving me the signal. They want us to get on out of here. Let me share, man, much love, appreciation for you all coming and joining the show here today. What you do helps validate us. We nothing. We just a platform to tell your story. What you do validates us. And so we thank you. And then I got to say all this other stuff. So this is the part where y'all get to wander around and look in the sky and whatnot because they want me to say, hey, look, so catch all future episodes on our radio platform, WCBE 90.5. Find us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And hop on Instagram. Follow us at City League Sports 614. Until next time, this is the Africentric Lady Nubians. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarenos, City League Sports. We are out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you.